Hi guys. I just got back from the library, and I don't know. I was just thinking. I read a lot of books, and when you read a lot of books, it's easy to kind of get hooked onto an author or a subject and just consume everything. Um, my style is sort of like that. I kind of just really get absorbed. Um, it's like I really just try to get into that author's world or the subject's world and understand it and and it's really fascinating because you're learning a new language, you're learning a new way to understand the world, to perceive and to think. And it's not even just to think; it's really to perceive and organize and explore. Really, like what you got to do. I mean, this is something that I've been learning. You have to be able to go into a subject completely open to it. To really learn it, you really have to kind of come in with a blank slate and they say to read things critically and all that, but I think before you can be critical of a book, you really have to get into that worldview, um, so you can understand the thought process that went into creating it. And when you step out of that, then you can say, well, this is where we disagree. But before that, I think it's very important to kind of really get into another perspective. Um, it's so easy to get hunkered down in one perspective. And I bring all this up because I have been a fan of Ken Wilber's work for a few years, and I have a decent amount of his books in my library, little bookshelf. But the thing with Wilbur, he covers so many authors, and for a modern younger student like myself, um, or I don't know, just anybody in general today, the academic, the scholar, the book reader is always an increasingly a more rare kind of life. So not many people read books, and if you have a book that kind of covers everything with a nice kind of like textbook categorization that says, "Oh, here's a theory of everything," that's really appealing, and I can understand actually um, why somebody like Ken Wilber, who doesn't really get into um, the depths of an author, but just kind of gives you almost like a flow chart of all these different authors and then organizes them for you. I mean, he's doing all the work. He's mining all the data and he's just showing it for you. Um, so it's very easy to kind of get hooked on authors like that, or just get hooked on little fun reading that doesn't really take much time or study and all that. Um, but if you're going to study things in depth, if you have a particular subject that you really, really are into, um, and again, I'm using my own experience, such as the evolution of consciousness, you can't just read Ken Wilber. You can't just read Don Beck and Clara Graves and all these. They're in a particular circle of integral, but it's a large horizon with so many authors. For instance, William Irwin Thompson, who I'm now reading, uh, completely different perspective and completely different, sort of interrelated, but not really, list of authors with, and they're scientists and poets. I mean, it's just, you really kind of just expand your world when you tap into a particular author and just, so very essential for studying um, any subject, any particular philosophy, the opposites of that philosophy, and also the uh, the peripherals of that philosophical framework. If the popular, if there's a popular guy, look for the unpopular guy. Um, really try to dig into how it's the philosophy itself is branched out, and you're probably going to find a couple gems hidden that you didn't realize, and totally in tucked away in this forgotten little corner, another universe opens up, and it's kind of like that experience. um, at any rate, I think that's all I really wanted to say about authors, really expand your mind, expand your horizon. Just because you're reading a subject, you can kind of create a little niche for yourself where you have a list of authors and that's it. It's really important to kind of branch out within that subject and find. And I don't mean like read Richard, like let's say you're into atheism, don't just read Richard Dawkins. Or if you're into anti-atheism, you think these guys are assholes, don't just read their main antagonists. Branch out, find the middle guy, find the middle people, the creative people who kind of weave in and out. These people are, I don't know, I feel like they'll be remembered more. At any rate, this leads me to this one more subject, really quick. I realize again, the academic is sort of a dying breed. It seems. I don't know. Not many people read books. I can't just sit down with my friends unless they're at it. Only my university friends, and even them, they only read to get through it. There aren't a lot of people who read to read and enjoy these books, and I kind of do miss that, especially now that I'm graduated. But I kind of wish that what we had was not just Wikipedia, but actually, I don't know, like when you look up an author, I wish we had the option to look up an author. Let's say, I don't know, Ken Wilber, Daniel Pinchbeck, or some poet, I don't know, William Blake, anybody, and what comes up is not just the wiki page with an outline, but nice little chunks and selections of their writings. So you don't. So even though you it's almost as if we're going into these books and we're data mining the books themselves and extracting quotes and compilations and things that are very essential. Kind of like what you do in an essay. It would be really cool if there was like a website for that where there was thousands of authors and all these kind of cloud tags of all these different subjects and areas within each book, and you can just read it, extracts from the book, nice little pockets based on categories. It'd be sort of like I know I know Google Books does to some degree something like this. It has like read excerpts or something. Um, but it would be much nicer if it was this kind of free flowing, spontaneous like knowledge tree, I guess you could say. A lot of metaphors with that one. But I think if we had more of free-flowing information with this data, which we kind of have to mine through with these big books, people aren't going to do that anymore. I don't know if we can force them to do that anymore, but I'd be really interested to see new ways that people explore information on the internet in this kind of decentralized cloud. Well, can we turn books into cloud and not just page by page by page by page? Now, given I love that style, but I'd be open to new possibilities, like the one I was just suggesting. At any rate, yeah. So this is just my own little reflections on my reading journey. Comment, reply, wherever you want. Thanks.